Welcome to the beginning of Batman. We start up with Detective Comics number 27 with a cover date of May 1939 for 10 cents. The first adventure for Batman is the case of the Chemical Syndicate. It starts off with Commissioner Gordon hanging out with his homie Bruce Wayne when he's interrupted by a phone call that Old Man Lambert, the Chemical King, has been stabbed to death and his son's fingerprints are on the weapon. Commissioner Gordon invites his homie Bruce Wayne along because of course he does, and when they arrive at the crime scene, Old Man Lambert's son was saying, "I didn't do it, Commissioner. Believe me, I didn't." Gordon tells Joe Ordinary to settle down and just tell him what happened. After telling Gordon the story and why his fingerprints would be on the weapon, he added that his father's safe was emptied. Gordon asked little Lambert if there's anybody he knew that could have anything to do with this, and he mentions his father's 3 ex-business partners, just as Gordon receives another call. It's Stephen Crane, one of the business partners mentioned earlier, and he had the same anonymous threat on his life as Mr. Lambert did. Bruce Wayne excuses himself, obviously never to be heard from again, as Mr. Crane gets murdered by a twinkie in pinstripes, who escapes with something from his safe. The murderer and his accomplice try to escape on the roof of the house when we get our first appearance of Batman. Batman Hadoukens and Shoryukens his way through both criminals and gets the paper that they tried to steal from Crane. The police show up as Batman makes a daring escape over the house. They talk to Nod Alfred and find out Mr. Crane's been murdered, as Batman reviews the contents of the evidence in the Almost Mobile. The other 2 partners to Old Man Lambert were Paul Rogers and Alfred Stryker. Rogers goes to visit Stryker's lab, but is assaulted by his assistant, Jennings, who ties him up and puts him in a gas chamber. Batman, being ever so awesome, jumps through a hole in the ceiling, rolls under the glass, and plugs up the tube, stopping the gas. Batman smashes the glass dome with a wrench. Jennings returns and is startled by what he sees, and proceeds to get his ass handed to him by the Bat. Rogers confronts Stryker about Jennings trying to kill him, and as he does, Stryker lunges towards Rogers, saying that he's going to kill him and throw him in the acid pit below. Batman disarms Stryker, and Rogers wants an explanation. Batman finds out that all 3 were once partners in the Apex Chemical Corporation. Stryker, who wished to be sole owner, didn't have the capital to buy the company, so he concocted a plan to take out both the partners and gain sole control of the company. Rogers, happy to be alive, asks Batman how he figured it all out. Just then, Stryker pulls a gun on Batman as he whirls around and socks him in the face, knocking him into the vat of acid, totally killing the shit out of him. Which brings the Bat kill count up to 1. Rogers turns to thank Batman, but he's already gone, and this is the first time that Batman disappears on a fool. The next day, Commissioner Gordon is hanging out with his homie Bruce Wayne and tells him the story of the Batman. Bruce Wayne thinks it's a great fairy tale indeed. Gordon lights a cigar and muses that Bruce Wayne is a good chap, but very boring and disinterested. It cuts to Bruce Wayne's house, and it's a closed door, and it opens to reveal Bruce Wayne is the Batman.